Alright. So, back the normal. I have to literally quit the game and go back into it in order to change that stuff. So just give me a moment here. Alright, so yeah, everything's been set back to the default, and I'm gonna go to where I've actually to the dungeon you need to do for that.
You did great.
Probably.
Well, if it isn't the head of the National Inn Association's son, the innkeeper blurts out, overcome with surprise. You've clearly been mistaken for someone else, but the innkeeper looks so excited that you dare not burst her bubble. Your room is free. The party leaves the inn feeling rested.
Here we go.
Were you able to find my treasure? Cypri asks. This is all we found, says Melanie, withdrawing the ragged doll. Cypri's eyes widen as soon as he sees the doll, and he reaches out to take it. Without breaking his gaze away from the doll, he begins to speak. Cypri tells you he gifted this doll to his young daughter a long time ago, but she fell gravely ill and died. Since then, Cypri has treasured this doll as he treasured his daughter. Then the monsters took it from him. Cypri turns to Melanie, his head bowed deeply in gratitude. So you reclaimed the treasure by complete accident. You step closer to Cypri. What do you know about the dragon? You rudely inquire. Cypri gestures as if to say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far to the east of town is a place called Unionville. where monsters and humans live together in harmony. According to Cypri, you might be able to learn something there, as the dragon and monsters are not totally unrelated. Upon hearing that, you turn on your heel to leave. Cypri calls out to stop you. Journeying to Unionville entails traversing the dense expanse of the bewildering wood. You'll need this, he says, and holds out something for you. You won't make it through the bewildering wood without it, Cypri says. Your sights set on the distant Unionville, you resolve to navigate through the bewildering wood.
Actually, how much money? Yeah, I don't have enough. Right, so basically, in the first...
The Ivory Ward and I just knew Winifred and her fellowship could do it.
Right, so basically there's a, it's like an event thing for like a special weapon in the first town. And that costs like a lot of fucking money. And I am nowhere near getting it right now. Let me see if I can sell anything here that I don't really see myself using. Alright, yeah, that's not even gonna amount to much. Yeah, this isn't gonna amount to much at all right now. Yeah, I know. Let's see if I'm... Yeah, I think I have this whole first area. Yep. Alright, just go straight into the next dungeon, I think.
A thick fog impedes your vision. You surmise this is in no small part why they call it the Bewildering Wood.
Alright, so, yeah, this is, yeah, so all this, at this point, all this is, like, straight up just, like, new, because the first area is pretty similar to the demo. The only thing that's missing is the, harbor area. Like the harbor town or whatever.
Congrats. Many a brave soul has set foot in this wood, only to be swallowed up and never seen nor heard from again, the traveler intones gravely. They also tell of a certain tool one needs to get through this place. Excellent. A message is written on the sign. Seek out the Force Stela hidden deep in these woods. You hear a beautiful melody flowing from the forest depths. It sounds like singing, or perhaps birdsong. You take a peek inside the grass and immediately find the owner of the voice. It's a harpy. It seems like the harpy hasn't yet noticed you. You pick up a rock and throw it at the monster's feet. Startled, the monster flaps its wings and flies away. You find some coins scattered about where it stood.
Wait, is this a... No, it's not.
And fight. have found the Northern Stela. It doesn't look particularly special. You resolve to touch it anyhow. The next Stela is... You hear someone murmuring? It sounds like a man, but you can't really be sure in these woods. As if drawn in by the voice, you head deeper into the forest, where you find a woman playing a stringed instrument. Why won't the right words come to me, she laments, her fingers stopping on the strings. Hearing her sigh, you offer to help her with her song. Very well then. Please finish this verse, she responds, then begins to sing. You imitate Mars' mule, but the woman just tilts her head to the side in confusion. You pity the poor soul for not comprehending the sheer cuteness of your dear companion. In the end, you gain nothing from the exchange and leave the woman to her song. Nice work. You have found the southern stela. You smack it and hear a sound off to the west. You'd best head that way next. Excellent. Excellent.
We go again. I think this is the third time that this exact sequence of events has happened. That's interesting.
You have found the eastern stela. You see the words Melody of Fortune chiseled into the corner.
Oh yeah, it's again. I already had this event happen to me before, like, in my own time. I thought I got you. I'm gonna equip use that right now on you. Because your agility fucking sucks. I'm sorry, speed. Whatever. It's same shit. It's the one that makes you go fast.
You have found the western stela, which you swear up and down was not here when you came in. Nevertheless, you give it a smack. You have found all four of the stela in the bewildering wood. On a perhaps related note, you hear a sound emanating from the east.
So I think I might as well just talk about other stuff while I'm dealing with this right now. One I've been playing a lot of recently, fucking Slay the Spire, which I mean, I never thought I would get into something like that before, but it was on sale, so I got it, and this is a while ago. This is like before you like I think it was like right before I started college, actually. I might have been in the middle of college, I don't remember. The point is, it's before and yeah, that's oh. Oh hey, you two weren't here before.
I need to hit the Stela every single time I want to go home. Ah, what a pain, the frowning woman sighs. The woman appears to be lost. How do I get out of here? She asks with furrowed brows.
Just wondering what that whole thing is, like the. Hear the weapon stories from like Nier. Basically that. Will be like, oh hey, you've done enough of this thing, and you get a bit of lore about that.
You examine the Stela. The message carved into the Stela reads, "Play in tune with the forest." You hold the woodland flute you received from the good doctor in Thriston. Doot 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 doodly, doot 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 doot. You blow a handful of pleasant enough notes into the woodland flute. You soon become aware of accompanying percussion, which reveals itself to be a series of impeccably timed footfalls racing toward you. A young woman appears before you. "That was absolutely dreadful," she whinges, her jaunty gait betraying her enjoyment. She calls herself Ridis and declares herself a woodlander, resident of the bewildering wood. By sheer coincidence, the flute on which you played those notes was one designed to call the woodland people to your side. Stunned by your good fortune, you ask Ridis to lead you eastward out of the forest. What luck! She agrees far more readily than you ever anticipated. But, she continues, extending her hand, you'll have to hand over the woodland flute first.
Yeah, they
hand over the flute, firmly restating that she may have it on the condition she leads you out of the bewildering wood. Ridis plucks the woodland flute out of your hands with glee and begins playing it as she skips away. Well, playing is a generous term. It sounds as though she may as well be murdering the poor thing. Ridis makes it clear that the fastest way out of the woods is through woodland, where she lives. "It's that-a-way," Ridis says gleefully, pointing past the Stela before you.
Alright. That
Welcome to Woodland, Ritus says, gesturing out over the village. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm quite busy for the rest of the day. So you'll have to wait till tomorrow to leave the forest, she says, and makes her way home. Welcome. 100 gold pieces will get you wherever you're headed, the master says as you set foot in the carriage shop. You will be instantly transported to any location you've previously visited. Travel for 100 gold pieces? Welcome to the Forest Oasis, the man greets you warmly.
Is there anything new here? I thought I got that for her already. But... yeah, don't I have that stuff for her? Let me check this real quick. Oh, no I don't. Alright then. I swore I did, but... meh. I'm sorry? Is there anything else here that... Nah, I'm not gonna buy it. I was thinking of buying the rings, but nah. I still want to save up my money for the, other thing.
You learn that Ritus's family is mired in debt and living hand to mouth. And I know how they got in so much trouble, the rumor mongerer says deliciously. We are not in the business of meddling in the personal affairs of others, Melanie says curtly, cutting her off. Apparently she's heard rumors of the dragon destroying another town somewhere. Our village would burn down so easily, she mutters, perhaps a bit more afraid of the symptom than the cause. You happen upon a man greedily guzzling well water. Could it truly be that much better than ordinary water? This shortcut is reserved for use by Woodland citizens only, the guard barks, clearly unwilling to let you pass.
I'm just gonna save real quick, just in case I mess something up here.
Riddis pores over a book while practicing on the woodland flute. She remains dreadful at it. The instant you begin speaking, she nearly leaps out of her skin and hides the book. She somehow hadn't noticed you. I thought you were the debt collectors. You can't sneak up on me like that, she stammers, struggling to regain her composure. You take note of a woman who appears quite ill. As it turns out, she is none other than Riddis's mother. She is in no small amount of pain. Will you give her something to ease her suffering? The item you've proffered, but I appreciate the thought all the same, she says with a smile. Riddis's mother hands you mysterious card 3 as a token of her gratitude. She begins speaking of Riddis, who has been preparing the medicine that helps her get through the day. She blames her illness, and therefore herself, for making Riddis's life so difficult. The more she talks, the more her face drops.
I wonder what. I don't know if it's like oh, you get a speaker like bonus thing where it's like, oh hey, if you don't get these, don't get the true ending or whatever thing. Both would not surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like either one. Right, she's saying the same stuff.
Been a while since we've had any outsiders, the innkeeper says, beckoning the party inside. It turns out this inn is simply a place where the poor, lost souls trapped in the bewildering wood may recover. You may stay as long as you like, free of charge. The wooden dining table practically groans under the weight of the platters upon it, all brimming with meats and vegetables from the bewildering wood. I've certainly earned this, you say to yourself, as you slide into your seat at the table, positively drooling over the feast before you. Melanie takes no note of your boorish behavior, uttering a small prayer of thanksgiving before reaching for a plate of vegetables. Mar sits, eyes fixed on the food upon the table, statuesque in his stillness. What a good boy. Mar clears the entire table in a matter of seconds, even emptying the water barrel in a single gulp. He lets out a self-satisfied burp that sends a small jet of just drank water arcing out onto the floor. The sun sinks low, and the day draws to a close. A scream pierces the silence. Fire! You leap out of bed, adrenaline coursing through your veins. The others follow suit, and before long you've burst through the front door and into the street. Riddis's house is ablaze, a nearby villager screams. My mother is still inside, Riddis shrieks, darting past you to fetch water from the well south of the village. Ridis is gathering water in an attempt to fight the blaze all on her own. You toss a nearby bucket into the well and haul it up by the rope. Rather, you attempt to, but thanks to Mar robbing you of a meal, your strength fails you. Mar's eyes light up. He scrambles over the edge of the well and sucks the well dry in an instant. He pokes at his swollen belly and gestures toward Ridis's house, as if to say, "Get me back there, quick." Quickly, put it out. You have to put it out, Ridis screams at Mar. Mar douses the house with the water he sucked up from the well. The fire is reduced to mere embers, and all is well. Or so you think. Something darts out from behind the house and attacks.
Now this is a boss. This has to be at least. Alright, so that's taken care of.
The fiery beast dispatched, you return to putting out the last of the blaze with Mar's help. Ridis's mother, now safe, tells you the creature came out of nowhere and set the house aflame. What would bring a creature of fire to a place like this, you wonder? Light breaks on a new day, and the commotion of the fire feels but a nightmare. You lead your party to Ridis's house to ask for safe passage out of the bewildering wood. Though spared from complete collapse, Ridis's home has been thoroughly scorched. Ridis sits alone in one of its rooms. the air thick with the smell of char. There shouldn't be any fire creatures for miles, she grumbles. She says the monster appeared while she was playing the woodland flute last night. As to why any monsters, let alone fire monsters, appeared, well, despite the circumstances, you ask Ridis to lead you out of the bewildering wood as promised. I did promise that, didn't I? She says wearily, rising from her seat. The poor girl is clearly still in shock. Why do you want to venture out beyond the bewildering wood anyway? She inquires, as she gathers this and that in preparation to leave.
I'm just gonna tell her it's...
We are in search of the dragon, you say valiantly, adding, the reward will be significant should we defeat him. Honesty is the best policy. Sounds like a real risky way to make a living, she replies flatly, feigning interest. A group of Ivory Order people came through here just the other day, she explains. You connect the dots with malice. Those three, you seethe. At last, Ridis is ready to depart for the edge of the bewildering wood.
Actually, it would be good to figure out what she can do at least. She is level 7, like... Wow. She start... Man, I think I'm already ahead with everyone else. Because of... Right, so basically when I was playing my own game, I kind of stumbled into a couple of, like, events that basically gave, like... You know how most RPGs have, like, those enemies where it's like, oh, you get a lot of XP from fighting them, like... Metal slimes from, like, Dragon Quest or whatever. I basically kind of ran to events that had something similar happen. So that's why I'm already at like level 10 with these three. Anyway, let's see what she can do. She has no abilities and skills. I'll put her in the party for now. Actually, let me see what equipment she has. Her agility is really high. Oh, speed, whatever. I'm just gonna keep calling it agility. Yeah, I think I'll have her in the party for now, at least. Should we options? Nope. Alright. So she's gonna be in the party for right now.
Ridis's mother tells you she was once deceived by a crooked merchant and plunged into debt. Ridis has been working to repay the debt ever since her mother took ill. You lightly press your thumb and forefinger to the corner of each eye, a mixture of sadness and anger swirling within you. This road takes you to the east side of the bewildering wood, but you'd be hard-pressed to find your way without a woodlander's help, the guard warns. Upon seeing that Ridis is with you, he steps aside and lets you through. eastern portion of the woods certainly does not want for thick, soupy fog.
Alright, here we go. Oh. Oh my god, here we go again. I clearly first second getting in this area. Same fucking event.
You turn away, ready to lead the party deeper into the bewildering wood. Wait just a moment, you lot, calls the voice of an older man from somewhere behind you. Riddis appears to be familiar with him. She calls him Mr. O. Here you are, young lady, he says, handing her a slip of paper. Oh dear. Further, Mr. O explains, Riddis did not have a fire insurance policy at the time of the conflagration, and so she shall have to pay in full. I'll thank you kindly to pay by the end of the month. Bye now, Mr. O says, receding from view as he returns to the forest. Hee hee. Riddis lets out a bemused chuckle, her demeanor remarkably calm for what has just transpired. She pulls the woodland flute from her cloak and begins softly playing. Riddis's ear-splitting performance, shall we say, draws monsters out from behind the trees. Within moments, they are nearly upon you. Congrats. That's odd. I must have made a mistake, Riddis says, burying her face in her old book once more. She opens the book to a particular page and thrusts it in your face. You can't tell anyone in the village I let you see this, okay? It's a page of sheet music with a note scrawled beside it that reads, "Play this lucky tune to reverse your financial fortunes and make money woes a thing of the past." No matter how many times I played this last night, our debt never went down, she fumes, incensed. You inspect the page a bit more carefully. Off in a corner, in letters so small as to be illegible, another message reads, "May summon monsters if played incorrectly." You finally see that so long as Riddis holds the flute, this is nothing more than a monster conjuring melody. You snatch the woodland flute from her hands. You have lost your flute-playing privileges, you inform her. But I'll never escape from this mountain of debt without it, she cries, clearly still believing in the melody of fortune. Melanie quietly opines that while Riddis is many things, bright is not one of them.
Alright. Wait, did I just sleep on a... I just ran a fucking circle. What's going on so far? Yeah, about an hour. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's also the half hour I did that for catching up.
Good work.
Oh. I'm guessing that's equipment for you? Huh, no. Okay, equipment. Not sure. Let's give her the fucking 9 defense. Alright, no new anything, I guess. Yeah, I've noticed I'm not getting that many, like, abilities, like, now, or anything. I mean, yeah, again, I don't know how the leveling works in terms of, like, the scale of it. Like, I don't know if they're gonna go, like, odds are it might just be, like, like, your standard, like, go up to, like, 99 a fair, like what most RPGs do, but I don't know. Well, I know they could do something weird with it.
That was lucky.
Oh, sorry.
You did great.
Alright, so that does answer. I was wondering about that. So, like, characters in, like, reserves do get, like, XP. I wonder if it's, like, reduced or anything. If there's, like, or if it's, like, the XP you get just goes to everyone. Like, I'm not very sure, but yeah. Oh, here we go again.
Here, Ritis chirps, pushing overgrown boughs and shrubs aside. As she does, a hidden path out of the bewildering wood comes into view.
Alright, so... Oh boy.
At last, you are free of the bewildering wood. Praise the power of the woodlanders, you squeal in admiration of Ritis. She giggles bashfully. You've certainly kept your promise, you say. Thank you for showing us the way. I was hoping I could join you on your quest to defeat the dragon, Ritis suddenly blurts out. Another page in your face. This week's creature of fortune is the dragon. Boons may befall those who encounter him. Melanie's jaw goes slack. What is the deal with this book? Melanie asks, bewildered. I can probably pay off my debt if we can just defeat the dragon, Ritis chirps, revealing her true intentions. No, I won't dilute my share of the riches any further. No more additions to the party, you bark. Have you no heart? Are you just going to leave a young helpless girl like me to drown in an ocean of debt and deal with that crusty old man? Ritis fires back relentlessly. I want to go. No. So goes the endless chorus of your thoroughly unproductive argument. Melanie calmly reminds you that the party in its current form stands little chance of defeating the dragon. See, you need me, Ritis says, sensing an opportunity. Your well-reasoned argument of no thwarted, you nod your head in resignation and welcome Ritis to the party.
Explore. Because believe it or not, I don't think that'd be very interesting. Just to watch me wander around like the map for like 5 hours. I know it. Okay, so I guess
You grab your weapon, thinking you're being attacked, and see only an empty bottle of medicine rolling along the ground toward you.
I could have totally just looked through the fucking stream to figure out what that was. I didn't even think about that. Find the next town and then... Oh, you have to go to the next dungeon. I'll probably end it there.
Nice work. Let's head to Unionville first, shall we? You see something approaching from up ahead.
Because I'm pretty sure...
A monster, Melanie shouts, readying for battle. Mr. Flobby, get back here. It's dangerous out there, a young girl chides, taking the creature back to the village. It seems you've finally arrived at Unionville, a village where humans and monsters live together in peace. What a weird place, remarks Ridis lightheartedly. I like it. We aren't staying a moment longer than necessary, says an unsettled Melanie. her distaste for monsters plain on her face.
And these are starting to get pretty costly now. I think I might just have to stick with the equipping who I'm currently using right now. I think I might keep a Ridison. And when group in terms of levels, I think I might just keep her in team for now. That was a lot of fucking money. There's some easy way to get that money back. I'm pretty sure there is.
Any travelers with magical little critters can stay for free, the innkeeper informs you. It appears the headman's long-standing pronouncement on the welcoming of all magical creatures also applies to you and your party. The woman frowns deeply, claiming the cakes she bought for her beloved furball have all been eaten by someone else. A quiet furball sits with crumbs around its mouth. The child says his monster friend left the village suddenly to go back home. He claims the headman told him that he could go home when he grew up too. The little orc child pouts, but I don't know where my home is. You ask the old man if he knows anything about the dragon. No, sir, he answers. All I know is that it brings more trouble to this already troubled world. But our headman is a wise and worldly man. He might know something, he remarks, pointing at a house not far away. Travelers, you hear a voice call from somewhere. Down here, at thy feet. You look down to see a small clump of fur by your boots. The clump of fur speaks. I am Lappy, and I should like to journey forth with thee. Lappy the furball looks at you with amiable expectations.
Just gonna go with this.
Of course, the more the merrier, you exclaim, pumping your fist energetically into the air. But Melanie coldly interjects, no, I can't trust monsters. Thoroughly rejected by Melanie, Lappy bursts into tears. Lappy says he has no friends because of his aged face and speech. All alone, he decided to leave the village on a journey. Your party is silenced by the crying child with the face of a grown man. You tell Melanie to be nice and quip that both she and Lappy could use a friend. Exhausted from arguing with you, Melanie half-heartedly agrees. Fine, we can be friends. However, she says that they are on a dangerous journey to defeat the dragon. As such, they cannot take a child with them. Lappy leaps up and hugs her in his excitement, exclaiming, "Thou hast made me so happy." Till next time, Melanie says, peeling Lappy off of her and placing him on the ground. Though she thought all monsters to be evil, Melanie feels that the ones here are different. Finally, a friend. You bow, but before you can speak, the man suddenly introduces himself as the village headman. He laughs, then shamelessly praises his own village as being wondrous and peaceful. "And who are you?" he asks. After explaining that you are on a quest to defeat the dragon, the headman invites you to rest your feet a bit in his village. He says that he had heard rumors of the dragon when he traveled the world. "You must be tired from your journey. Have a seat. I will have my chef prepare a feast," the headman says, then claps his hands twice to summon a stewardess. Extravagant dishes that you have never seen before are placed on the table before you, each one looking more delicious than the last. "You're drooling," Melanie scowls. You hadn't even noticed. You wipe your mouth with your sleeve, then gasp as you turn to Mar. Perhaps in an attempt to hold himself back, Mar is gnawing on the table corner. There, we'll eat soon," you reassure Mar while gently stroking his head. The doors fly open in the next instant, and a girl runs in. With tears in her eyes, she tells you that her dear companion, Mr. Flobby the Slime, is missing. The headman's eyes go wide in surprise. "We must find that slime right away," he says anxiously. "You are starving, but it doesn't look like you'll be able to partake of the feast before you because of Mr. Flobby's disappearance." "We will find your slime, and then we feast," you add quietly. Melanie reminds you that you are here to get clues about the dragon from the headman. What's the difference? Literally everything. Hunger taking its toll, you two begin to argue. "Brave heroes," the headman interjects, then bows his head. "Would you please find her slime?" It appears the story has hit a standstill until you find the missing Mr. Flobby. You need to hear the whole story from the young girl. The little goblin sulks as he gazes upon the withering flowers he tried so desperately. He looks at you with tears in his eyes, silently begging you for help. You pour the salve, stand up tall. The goblin cries out in happiness and thanks you for your help. He then holds something out to you. The goblin stares lovingly at the beautiful flowers and gobbles them up. Healthy flowers are the tastiest, he proclaims in glee. Did he grow those flowers just to eat them? A young boy wanders up to your group in wide-eyed wonder. You surmise his curiosity stems from the lack of travelers visiting the village. You realize you are right when he assails you with questions about your origins and adventures. The Inquisition leaves you exhausted. The little orc child is engrossed in a fairy tale. The title reads, The Legend of the Dragon. You take a peek into the picture book and come across a passage that piques your interest. To where, you wonder, then recall that this is merely a fairy tale. Lately, a suspicious man cloaked in black has been seen wandering about the village outskirts. The old woman looks at Melanie and remarks that he was dressed just like her. Wow, a new friend, and so big too, the furball exclaims in glee as it rushes over to Mar. Mar stares off into the distance as the furball snuggles up to his leg. For some reason, Riddis joins in on the cuddling. The village headman is a renowned gourmet, and rumor has it he only dines on the finest foods. The man says he wishes he too could have such a lavish meal just once in his life. His deep desire for delicacies only growing with time. The girl sobs, wailing about the missing Mr. Flobby. Melanie places her hand atop the girl's head and promises that your party will find her companion. The girl then hands something to Melanie. It looks like the muddy handkerchief she used to wipe Mr. Flobby. She asks Melanie to wipe Mr. Flobby with it after you find him. The girl claims to have searched the village but cannot find her friend anywhere. Regardless, looking aimlessly outside the village would be a waste of time. You decide to collect more information in the village. She says she saw. Did that man take Mr. Flobby? You resolve to leave the village in search of the pair.
West, okay. I guess I'll probably. Oh, I think it's wait. Like, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make sure.
Nice work.
Idea of what I'm doing here. These new weapons. God. This is. Now it's back to like the first. All over again. Wait, is this the. That dungeon? Not. I'm done. I'm going to save. and move on this new explore and get like some stuff back. All that. Figure out why I missed.